All right, round 2. Okay, let's fix the Twitch category. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-down. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-down. Play some music for myself, but I will not put it out because that would be a violation, wouldn't it? Well, and yeah, but I'm gonna do. All right, let's start with it. Okay, it is in software and game development. Amazing. It is already there. Great. So, last time we ended here, right? We have the sort of basic version of the, where is it? The Firefox. Of the layout interface, which is done in React and Nest.js. Very crude, half AI generated, but it does the job. I have since realized that I actually forgot that I wanted to do this with Schema, which is kind of a big framework system that I have developed over a couple of years that does have a layout system that I could utilize here, but maybe it's, a bit of a too big of a gun for too small of a thing. Or rather it's just, this way it's very focused. Also we're fully in control of the JSON format, so it's like very easy to add things, whatever we need. So basically, it's also true that we don't have that much time to finish this, at least in some working version. So shouldn't waste too much time on bullshit. I think we'll be soon ready to. Let me move this to the side and actually make the HUD much smaller again. Fade. And yeah, so where are we? I think we're gonna abandon this kind of messy thing. Maybe take a few things out of there. We've sorted out the kind of mismatch of colors using this linear to gamma 045 before sending it to spout to OBS. So that's good. This to do is cute, but let's do this cleanup and we'll just take it away because I do have the to do here now here, and this is what is missing mostly. So a lot of stuff, but the infrastructure is coming into place. Basically, what I want to create is some sort of common interface widget that will handle that. Then basically we have the logic of kind of generating a scale layer, putting it onto a texture and scaling that inside of the scene. I suppose I could have some sort of adaptive texture size here maybe, but it can come later. And we have the layout JSON reader, which is kind of the main part in just getting the layout into what we need. And this is basically how we take it and create a transformation out of it that gives we have the position, we have the size coming out of the JSON being, I don't have it here, I have it in another window. The JSON being this, right? We will have a list of widgets, and this will also contain other settings. I think camera, maybe name of the layout, whatever kind of things that we need extras here, and it will basically represent the whole layout on the screen. And yeah, we're kind of getting to the fun part of actually creating the widgets. At some point, I will organize this more just code-wise, but it doesn't have to be immediate. And I can create some sort of simulator for the OC which again it can be something super fast. Maybe I can do that now. So not us. Let's make the OSC simulated so we can have some movement already coming in. Maybe I thought maybe a little too early. And let's see what are the. So this is going to be the kind of addresses that we're receiving. I believe between 0 and 1. I may have to validate, but it will be easy to remap. Let's make this bigger. It's like new lines from WhatsApp are very confusing to Gamma. I guess whatever. So these kind of addresses, then we also have the inputs that's basically coming in, whichever input is active, and I do have that in the other project, so I may take it or share it, but maybe it's going to be easy to copy paste rather because it's like a separate project. And yeah, and we want to simulate, so I may simulate. That's right, and that's something that's very, very simple in vvvv gamma to just create some OSC outputs. So we're going to go here to the Jacque VIE HUD, and I'm going to create a new thing. We have OSC simulator, and inside of here, is this the application? It is the application. So basically, I want the OSC library. I want an OSC. It's a client. Yes. To send and OSC send the OSC send message. And that's basically it. Like we add the address. Let's say right, it will be the volume input, for instance, and then we basically pass it any, whatever type we put here. It's completely generic, and it's going to send it with the proper type tag with OSC. And so I can put this with the middle click and basically take a float, and now I can maybe animate that with LFO. And that's it. We have a simulator for volume. Right, now if I went to another side, let me expose these. Okay, there's a 4444 port. This is where we're sending, whether it is enabled. Right. So then I will kind of take this and duplicate across more of them. I'll see what I need. But as a very basic thing, this is enough. So we can do the volume input, and we may start to build maybe like already this fun part, the waveform tracker, or wow, I like super yawny all of a sudden. It's kind of hot here. It's just did a bit of biking, a bit of eating. Well, what can you do? And let's go here. Let's see my chat. There's no chat. That's okay. Okay. Oh, wow. So we have this. Let's also start a new one. Let's do this. The Jacque VIE HUD widgets. And basically the idea is I'm going to have an interface. It's going to bring in an OSC client. an OSC server instance. So it's basically okay, giving you the messages, and then it's going to be up to the widget to to actually get some meaning out of that. So if I were to switch here to the simulator, I'm just going to do a quick cleanup here. Okay, and put this as the category. Same here in the widgets. An interesting behavior. Okay, so this, I'm going to create an interface, right? I'm going to be using OSC here as well, and I'm going to call it let's call it the via widget. Start with an I. It's sort of a convention that's used in Gamma, though some people really hate the. It looks like I view widget. Wow. That's even weirder. I overlay widget. Okay. Naming thing. Come on. Anyways, it's like there's one thing. It's very specific. It doesn't really matter. So basically, we're gonna take let's put like OSC as an input, right? So we can. Let's create an operation, and that's gonna be just update. It's kind of the main one. That's like the default in Gamma, right? If you're doing something every frame, the process is gonna have an update. So I'm gonna start with that. Basically, I'm gonna just run it every frame. It's getting OSC, translating that OSC into a scale layer, and then that I think we'll have outside, and it's going to be put onto a texture in Stride and placed using the layout system. Kind of simple. Plus, we have an input. Hi. So OSC input. It's gonna be it's gonna be a observable of OSC message. Maybe it's a spread of OSC message. Let me see if I OSC receive OSC receiver. It's going to be an observable spread of OSC messages. Okay, that can be a couple in a frame. So we're going to do that. That means it's something that is coming kind of regardless of the main loop. It's not like something that is tied to the basically to the main loop, to the frame rate of the application. It's a sort of a synchronous stream channel. If you know anything about reactive, like the RX family of libraries, then this is basically it. And in every of those kind of events, we can get a bunch of OSC messages, and then there's nodes that actually interpret that, and they can just extract whatever specific address and give you the value that was seen there last, which is quite useful. And as an output, we are expecting, I would say, a scale layer. And right, and I will also be using Stride, and then basically do something that will position this to give us basically to give this kind of layout in the end that we're seeing here. right? And now all the individual widgets are going to be implementation of that. So let's say as a single widget, actually, thinking whether I should take the bounds in, and then that would make sure that whatever I'm rendering, it's actually has this right aspect ratio. I'm not just scaling the texture, I'm actually also scaling the input itself, and then I would have to do some sort of magic to match the texture, or I can also just put everything on the same texture and kind of place it in one location and render it. That would be the most performant. And basically, unless we want to split split the depth, right? Have things on a different level, then that would actually be completely enough. So maybe let's do that as another input. Take that as a bounce, and it's going to be a rectangle, right? So we have this, and I'm going to take I'm going to create a class that is going to be implementing this I overlay widget here, I overlay widget, and it's going to be called, let's say, VU meters widget. I put it here, VU meters widget, right? So now I have the update operation, which is great. And I now have these inputs already here. Okay, so it's going to be a OS input, it's going to be a bounce. And at the out, we're going to give a layer, right? Also thinking, how am I going to share colors? I can share that with an operation. I could also give that as some sort of style. It gives here, like similar to what you can see on maybe GUI widgets, rather widgets that basically give you just like a full kind of styling package that you put in. So let's start with this. I'm going to share the color and some general style. I think first, maybe I can do that. Overlay widget style. And we're going to prepare some fills. Yeah, I mean, well, why not? Input style, overlay widget style. Let's give us, we could do the color, we could do fills already, kind of thick. Also, this using the bounce and rendering it actually in the right size will ensure that the lines are all aligned. And if we scale something, it's actually going to just look natural and not like a scaled thing, which is also good. So I think in this record, so records are basically just containers for data. So I'm gonna have a fill. Let's do like a primary fill. Black fill, and let's do a thin stroke. And a thick stroke. That's my styles. Okay, each one of these are a paint. A skia. If I do a fill, skia paint. What is it doing? A skia paint. So a skia paint. All right. I don't want to show the editor. This is also a scale pane. This is also a scale pane. This is also a scale pane. So basically, I'm just passing in a bunch of panes to use. We can reuse them across the widgets. So this now has the things. Now to actually be able to create it and split it, I'm going to press Ctrl K, which gives me all these pre-made inputs, outputs for a create and split operation, which I think is quite nice. And then what I can do is actually maybe start testing it here in the application document or patch. So I would say it's a view meters widget. I'm going to create one, right? I'm going to put this in a pad on create widget. And the idea is then to have kind of like a dictionary. I'm going to have an idea. Oh, okay, I know how to do that. Let's create a widget and render it in its place. And that's what we want. I would like this to happen on the create, so it just gets created once. And then basically I can run the update of the, right, and now I can actually use the interface. So it will be an I overlay widget update. And I don't care about which actual widget it is. I'm going to set up the overlay widget style. I can now actually go here and just copy these fills. So I have this green, I have this stroke, I have these fills, I have some polygon here. Let's see what we can do. Also adding a point light, right? I was also adding a point light to kind of each of those elements for style. Let's see if I do that or not. Actually, I haven't seen, like, it doesn't do much of a difference. We'll take a look at the right, closer look at the HUD. Interesting, it doesn't even, I don't know where is it going. Somewhere on the plane, which is transformed, but radius. Ooh, yeah, okay, this can be nice. It just needs a big enough radius, and we can get, ooh. Just need a 50 intensity, but yeah, big enough, I guess. And we would get some sort of interesting effect from that. Yeah, this actually looks quite nice. So I might still want to somehow replicate this, even if I'm rendering everything into one texture. I can try to match it again, kind of take all the elements, give them green light, and if maybe then extend the interface that I can actually control the behavior of the light, the intensity. So if it's kind of full, the widgets are full, then they will light up. If they're not, they will not. So we can, right, this patch is really just for the exploration of these kind of things, and it's good for that. So alternatively, we could also just create more planes and kind of give a plane for each one and then transform that and have the size be determined also by the drawing. That may be kind of like a in-between interesting approach. Let's continue and we kind of figure it out as we go. OSC simulator is not what I need. I want to go back here and I want to take the stroke, this fill, and I believe I have another stroke. Fortunately, I don't have a stroke. There's people in my family that had strokes and well, not with us anymore. But yeah, anyways, fill, stroke, bam. So we have this. Let's take the color from here. And I'm going to then refactor this whole patch into like an own process now that will be part of the main application. But yeah, this is, you know, this is how you build stuff. You go kind of piece by piece, integrate things, test things in isolation, sometimes together, depending on what makes more sense. And eventually it becomes something cool. So let's get rid of these colors. Everything is going to be shared. I think this is going to be the black one, right? So we have the black fill. We have the primary fill. We also pass in the color. See what I need. Basically, it's very easy to extend, right? This can be the thin stroke, and then we can have the thick stroke, which can be a bit thicker. No, we'll see. So now we have the style initiated. We have and we're running the update. So we're getting a layer, but there is nothing here. There is nothing here because this actually does not create anything. But let's say if we view meter on like a very simple, at a very simple level, would be maybe like a round rectangle. Scaleus. Actually thinking, can I do both stroke and what happens if I plug this here? No. So I need to render those two separate things. Is that so? Slightly surprised. Fill stroke. Yeah, I suppose. Doesn't matter. View meters widget. Could do the round rectangle. Bring in the style. We can split it. Overlay widget style split. And now that it's split, actually I can take this. Done. Now that it's split, I can actually take it here. I'm going to take the thin stroke. I have a round rectangle, and I'll put it here. And we do have the rectangle here coming. Now I also care about the OSC input, right? I'm going to do that now in this application, probably maybe elsewhere afterwards. OSC server, we're going to run on the port OS 4444. And this is exactly what we want. Data preview, see we're seeing the volume input, one float. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to take the OSC receiver, put this here, place the address, and I will take this into a float. I'm in the wrong place. And the view meters widget. And now I may want to be filling this with things. Also, I want to use the bounds, right? So we'll be basically I want to fill the bounds with the rendering. And I think I'm going to always place that. I'm just going to be taking the size and place everything at kind of top left, and then place that with the actual final plane. So, but I can do that on the outside. I'm just gonna use the bounds as they are, and I can play with it outside. So what do we see? It's here. We can round it a little bit. I want to use a round rectangle bounds. Right, so it's something that we pass the bounds immediately. So if I were to change them here, using a rectangle join, then I'm able to control the size of the rendered widget. And now here, With the view meters, I think it's basically going to take, it's going to be multiple widgets. I will be wanting to just kind of split the bounds. We had some bound splitting tools, like rectangle splitting tools in Schema. I'm thinking maybe use that. If I was able to find that, which I'm not exactly sure. It may be quicker to just redo it. There's also various layouting systems in Elementor, but I'm unfortunately not that familiar with the library. But it may be worth to kind of explore it as a quick thing. NuGet gallery via Elementor. Yeah, it's a very simple installation. Manage NuGets, command line, NuGet install via Elementor. Or this can also be done with ImGUI, but I kind of want the freedom to draw what I want and like play with it. If you want to fill it, right? Let's start with that. So we're gonna fill it with the volume. Just create a very basic volume view meter. So I'm gonna do the OSC receiver, which I already have here. I just need to connect that. It should already be working here. We're getting the message. We're getting the volume input. And this is somehow not receiving data, which is surprising. So let's finish the rendering, then we figure it out. Okay. So I will want another round rectangle that's actually going to be filled. So I'm going to use the primary fill this time. Right. I'm going to use the same bounds. I'm going to double right click here to just create this kind of connection so I can reuse it because I'm going to be changing it above. And then we can draw both of them by using group, meaning we're going to do this layer and also this layer. And then let's just take it out here and then to the output. So now it's fully filled. What we can do with rectangles is we can modify the sizes of them, right? So there's potential scaling. We can also offset them by vectors. We can scale. We can do a centered scale, uniform, set height, set position, set width. I believe a scale, a regular scale might be useful here. Let's see if we want to scale it from the up. Right. This is a scalar and offset bounds. The size is 1. Center at 0. Is it at what happens when we change the bounds? If I change this, it seems to remain. Yeah, it's remaining at the same ratio. So that's good. So basically that's it. We want, let's say, assuming that these values are from 0 to 1, we will be scaling. Let's just join, like, make it actually a round rectangle. Woohoo. There we go. Sort of a thing. We can also first inflate uniformly the rectangle to kind of get something smaller. All right, now I'm actually getting a nice thing. I'm gonna make it bigger so we have some resolution. The roundedness, that's a question whether it should be aligned to the size of it or be kind of global. Adjust it later, but you know, this is a nice start. And back to the view meters widget. So basically now we have, if we do a 1 here, it's the full size. If we do a -1, it is going to be empty. And it's, now we could also do some mask because it's starting to look weird there, but that's, you know, refinements we can do. Let's build out the architecture first and the infrastructure. I'm gonna map, right, assuming we're from 0 to 1 as like a regular LFO. Right, so I can do, we would expect from 0 to 1, but actually I want to be from -1 to 0, right? So this is our full range. And basically now we have a very basic VU meter. Here we have a to do. Let's do that. To do split display multiple layout multiple VU meters. As we just want them all separate, we'll see. We can kind of iterate on this. And obviously fix the OSC receiving. That's something that's not really working with the architecture. I wonder if I just do this, put it here, would this work or not? Yeah. But, I'm checking if the chat embed works because it seems a little stuck. Not that there is anything there, but still, I could at least get this kind of workflow down. Not embedding. A little confused in this video storage billing. I found it yesterday. That's interesting. I do wonder. Stream chat. It probably has a new token now. Ah, no, it's still working. Okay, cool. Hi. Okay, so let's see. Does this OSC work when I take it into a flow? So here it works, but here it does not. So maybe there is something I haven't quite realized on the OSC. It is slightly strange. I believe it should absolutely work. What am I missing? The OSC input is, we have that. There is the OSC message. Volume input. There is no weird space or something. If there was a space, then it would not work. But it does not receive. Now it does. What is the difference? I don't know. But yes, it as it should have been working, it does work. Right? So let's replace the LFO with the actual OSC input. Like there could be another layer of separation between the like OSC receiving and what we're feeding into the widget, but since like there's a very clear requirement for this app, just keeping it all together. So we have this. Now if I go to our OSC simulator and maybe do this as a sine wave that doesn't go into -1, which it does now. Input -1, 1 from 0 to 1. So now we have a sine wave that is based on an OSC. So where are we right now? Let's see. So we have the interface. Didn't do any sort of registration yet, positioning, but we sort of start on the view meters. Indication, none of this, camera position, none of this, layout bounds, layout, no, nice, no. Oh. Alright, side 21. Oh, fuck. I do need to work so. Okay. So now I want to display that in the full scene and lay it out. So yeah, the registration might be a good starting point here. Into this. So let's go to the main application here that I have. All right, that is it. Let's do a new document. We're gonna call it widgets the widget render. Now all of that could be one document. Just find it nicer to split things for Git sake mostly. And this will handle basically rendering the scale layers and putting them in, also registering them, I guess. And no, just rendering them onto layers and placing them in the scene. I think I will not go that much deeper. It's so weird, but okay. And this is gonna Alt Control E. This is gonna use the widgets. It's also gonna use Skia, and it's also gonna use Stride. And so let's do a widgets. I'm gonna take this thing. I will get like all the widgets, available widgets. Let's do that here as a process node. And we're going to provide a dictionary with all the available widgets, and then we'll be taking from that dictionary when we're laying out the layout. So let's do overlay widget style, overlay widget, view meters widget. And you take this create, right? Basically like this. I'm going to create a view meters widget. I'm going to set it on a dictionary, which can be a dictionary builder, even like it is more performant when you're expecting to do more modifications to use a dictionary builder, which is a mutable data structure. unlike the regular dictionary, which will give you a copy. But it is kind of optimized, so it's not that bad even then. But yeah, so let's do this. It's going to be for the view meters, right? And this is the ID that we have seen in the layout, and we're going to kind of match it based on that. So I'm going to be setting this one, and I will then, before getting it out of the patch, so it's going to be kind of back mutated, use the to immutable, which gives me an immutable version of a dictionary, and then I just give that as a result. So anytime that I want, I can just like get this, and then I have a dictionary of all the widgets that I have here, and I will be kind of creating a here as time goes on. Right, widget style, utilities, interfaces, and records, and widget implementations, and no, utilities. Cool. So we have this. Now inside of our widget render, this is something that can take the get available widgets, basically create them once. Right, this is widget dictionary. Now, like we could make it more like a factory kind of pattern, that every time that I get an ID, it would create the actual widget, and then I keep it. I expect it to be just one of each for now. I can redo it after like that, but let's just keep it simple for now. And I'm gonna go to the this thing. And here I want this JSON reader. I'll do this transformation as well, maybe, but most of all I'm gonna read it. Right, so now we're gonna be trying to match these two things, basically. So we need to kind of organize the monorepo, this layout JSON in a shared place. Cannot found. We need the JSON reader. I'm gonna import this function. Now we have a dictionary which has a view meters, right? And I want to go for basically through each of those items that we have in the widget layout. I can split into the key value pairs, which basically like dictionary can give you that. Key is going to be view meters, and then where it is. And maybe we'll be able. I will be adding more settings, but I'm really starting with the kind of minimum for what is to achieve what we want. So we have this dictionary, so I can get that, basically get an instance and render it. Now the thing with the instance, if there is like two of the same ID, it's going to take the same class and basically update it. And if there's any stateful thing inside, like some damping or whatever, it's going to be a mess. But we're not doing that now. And again, we're like also working with the dictionary here. We're kind of assuming that the IDs are unique and that there's one of each widget, basically one of each widget, yeah, here. So I will take let's do the get item of a dictionary. It's going to be from this dictionary. I would like to take this ID. And now we have our class. Now what we can do is overlay widget update widget dictionary. Yeah, we'll have to make sure that this is, well, this is a vvmeters widget. When we put more of them, we need to specify that it's going to be this dictionary. OSC input, guess widget renderer will also handle the OSC input. It's kind of messy, but whatever. Right. I'm gonna take this. It can also widget allow JSON reader. So we have a dictionary of string and rectangle. I think we'll also bring in like some OSC settings. Could be in there. And all the fun stuff. Now we can only have one of these. So I'm gonna take, maybe what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna init a repo. Let's go to Jacque VIE HUD, git init, git add, this here, just git add everything, git commit, I don't know, it's an initial commit, VIP widget rendering architecture, cool. And so now this is the widgets. Take this. I think I will put this here as a get base style. Like that. And boom. So that would be, actually it should be with this. So not boom. Now boom. I'm gonna take also, so I don't care, this rectangle I also don't care that much. I'm gonna place this in like a test if I ever want to return to this. Process widgets test. But now it's not running. It's not gonna be taking anything from the it's not gonna take away that port from us for the OSC that we wanted. Okay, so now we have now the application of widgets is empty because yeah I don't want it to run anything on its own. If I go back to the widget renderer, this for now this is the application. It may again move in the same way. So we have the OSC server. We have this. Let's do a get base widget style. We'd like to put this out here, and the bounds will basically come from this. And here I mentioned, right, I might modify what this means, where we're kind of taking it. I can also divide it. Yeah, I need to think about that. But like on a 2D level, we could really get something going quite fast. If I do a Skia and this. Yeah, I could group this. I think we decided it's going to be like each widget is going to be a single entity, and we're going to link the light to it also, and maybe we can do some other fun things. But basically, we have this is now connected. I don't know why can it be commented here. Okay, so I'm going to take should be getting the vminer widgets. I'm getting some bounds here. Okay, they're massive bounds. That's one issue maybe. And we're again not getting. Why do I need to tell it that it's learning? This doesn't make any sense. But now at least it's filling. So we have that. Yeah, I think the sizes should be more like relative. Yeah, that's this is like 0, right? What we have now it's actually a minus. This would be a 0 position. Top left. Minus 327 on the Y. Well, that's interesting. So the center is here. I feel like I should put one box there that's just not kind of shows the bounds. And decide. Okay. So maybe in the application just to help with that. App. Right. So we have YTX is. So we're not loading the widgets. If I actually reload this, I'm gonna lose. It's gonna reset. Right. So it's actually something I should put on the list. It would be quite simple. So layout editor, layout bounds. Read layout. So expose layout. Okay. For some reason, this is the 0, 0. I wonder how is that? Position XX, widgets class name app. Could be because of the styling of the app. Very resizable styles. Why is this considered a? Like the body is here. Div is okay. The class. Yeah, it's likely there's some leftover styling. Schema color, line height, font family, app on drag, use effect. Am I bringing even any style in here? Doesn't seem so. App CSS. If I were to delete all of that, it's exactly the same. Yeah, it's not even imported, so that's I must say I am confused why this would be in a 0, 0, and it's like it's exactly in the middle, or where is that? Like how is that placed? This would be just gonna translate. So if I do this, right, it uses the translate, which is a GPU powered way to apply transformations, and this is just moving it to position this thing. So, and we're kind of working pixels here. And I can work in pixels as well, kind of related to the screen. Position relative, line height 1.5. Why wouldn't we start at the top? Like that's the root of the document, right? Font weight, line height. Something with the body. Place item center. Oh, okay. I see. Where is that coming from? Index CSS. Yes. Well, it can be a flex. I don't mind, but items. Is top a thing? I'm not sure it's a thing. Actually, no. Items. What are the options? Yeah, top is not a thing. There's a baseline, and there is a start. Flex start. Revert start. Let's do that. I mean, it's completely unnecessary that there's this flex even, but